Hey everybody, good afternoon, just barely afternoon. My name is Erica Despain. I'm the editor of All Things Madison. And I'm hopping on a little earlier than normal to do our Madtown Minute. If you are unfamiliar, got a little feather on me here. If you are unfamiliar, the Madtown Minute is a weekly segment where I like to get on here live and discuss the behind the scenes of the stories that I covered this week, as well as give you a little bit of my commentary from just being out and about this week as a citizen of the community as well. So usually I film this sometime between noon on Thursday and noon on Friday, honestly, depending on when my house is usually the quietest. So right now my house is quiet and I'm excited to jump in and tell you about what's going on. Hey, Whitney. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Like to be respectful of your time. So let's see. Okay, I covered 3 articles on the website this week. The one on Monday did super well as far as traffic goes, because I think people were really excited about a new business coming to downtown Madison. So there's a new business called Lavender coming to downtown Madison. If you're familiar with that area, there is almost like a light yellow type, almost like historic looking older home that's actually home to a handful of businesses. So this is where Lavender is going to be. It's going to be opened by 2 women who live here in Madison, who have raised their kids here. And it is going to be chock full of all kinds of luxurious items for the bath, for the kitchen, for entertaining, etc. Yes, Lavender. So excited. And so I loved talking with these ladies on the phone. You could just like their passion. That was my dog, if you heard a noise. We are parents to an older dog. Lavender is going to... I love the way they described it. It's just basically to indulge and just enjoy all of these items that could be gifted or that you could enjoy yourself. Someone says, I'm going to be helping Shannon and Brady at the store. They are awesome. Yes, I can tell that. Hey, Dana. Yeah, I have not met them in person, but talking with them on the phone, their energy was contagious. They're just really excited to open this store here in Madison. And the cool thing is that it's very, very eco-friendly. So, you know, there's no plastic. They're really hoping for the products to aim for as 0 waste as possible. So they know that that is a big thing that's important to a lot of people right now, as people learn more about the importance of recycling and things being just good for the environment. So that is what they're doing. They're going to be outsourcing all of their products from companies that believe in the exact same thing. So you can go on and read that article on allthingsmadison.com. Let's see. I also did an article about Nutmegs Cookies. So I'm fortunate enough to be friends with the owner of Nutmegs Cookies, Megan. She is amazing. She just started this hobby, I guess you would call it, back in the end of 2019, early 2020 when the pandemic hit. She is so talented. She has developed this really fast interest in taking classes and learning as much as she can. As soon as I saw her cookies, I was like, people need to know about what you can do. She's so talented. The portrait work is insane. If you saw the article, you know what I'm talking about. Megan does an amazing job. So if you are looking for someone to do custom cookies for you, I would highly recommend Megan. She has a personality to match her amazing cookies. She is so nice. She's so helpful. And just really creative, which that's what you want, especially if you're someone that's not very creative like me. Sometimes I need to go to the professional like Megan and say, hey, here's my event, here's what we're doing, here's my occasion. What kind of cookies should I do? And so she's just really, really good at that. Let's see here. Okay. Finally, I did an article today that was all about the hotels here in Madison. So I grew up here. You guys, most of you know, moved away, moved back. And I actually had a hard time thinking of a list of hotels off the top of my head. I knew that we had a few that had opened in that part of town, Madison, on Intergraph, over by like nearest or Cracker Barrel, that White Bison coffee shop, etc. So I actually popped in there last week. I just walked in and was like, are you guys open? Tell me about your hotel. So the Avid Hotel, that it's gorgeous inside, like absolutely beautiful. Their lobby is so fun. They have this like bean to brew coffee thing. If you're a coffee drinker like me, I was all about that. They just opened mid-December. So again, brand new. And then the Home 2 Suites is right next door to that. I couldn't believe that that's been open since, I think she said like summer of 18. I was like, wow, I had no clue. They have extended stay options. So a lot of you watching this probably live here, and hotels might not be something on your radar. but it's good to know. It's just like the more you know, right? It's good to know if you have someone saying, hey, do you know about hotels in this area? Or you have a family member coming in town, maybe they want to stay at a hotel, or maybe you want a staycation. Which ones have outdoor pools, indoor pools, that sort of thing. I also did include a list of more luxurious upscale hotels that are in Huntsville. Now, this is all Things Madison. I generally don't talk about things in Huntsville. However, we don't have that classic upscale hotel that has a fancy restaurant and spa and really pretty pool, and we don't have that in Madison. I do think a couple of them are coming to town Madison. Fingers crossed about Margaritaville. That still seems like it's on the books. But Huntsville does have a few. So if you're coming to Madison, you can't find a hotel like that, I get it. We still want you to come to North Alabama. So I did include some of those options in Huntsville that I hope you find helpful. Go on allthingsmadison.com. You can see that list of hotels. Okay. Today has been a busy day. We have been running around. I say we because I have all three girls in my home with me. All three girls home with me, and so they went with me to a couple of places, and they got Dairy Queen as a reward for being good. So they went with me to 2 places. The first place they went to, let me see if I'm saying the name right, Living Life Counseling Center. It is over on Hughes Road. If you're driving on Hughes Road heading towards Highway 20, it is going to be on your right past the, what's it called? The post office. There's a center there. I'm not familiar with all the things in there, but there is a counseling center in there. They had their grand opening there. So as an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce, I was invited to go and celebrate with them. Mayor Finley was there. He spoke. Great to see the other ambassadors for the Chamber. And I had a chance to talk to some of the people that work there. Shout out to Kathy. She was so kind and gave me a behind the scenes of what happens at their counseling center. So they offer a lot of telehealth type counseling, like counseling over the phone electronically, but they also do encourage people to come in. So they have 7 counselors and therapists, I believe, who cover all kinds of things. So Kathy, for example, she does counseling for adoption, for infertility, and that sort of thing. But they literally have a brochure that has, I should have grabbed it for this interview, but they cover all kinds of needs for counseling. So if you are looking for mental health services, you should totally look into Living Life Counseling Center. They are fantastic. From those that I spoke with, they were really great. Let's see. Okay, after that, we left and went over to the compound. So the compound is an athletic training facility located on Highway 72. So if you're heading into Huntsville, right past the Starbucks, maybe about a quarter of a mile. I love the people that own the compound. I've covered them and their stories a handful of times, but I was invited by my friend Tiffany Whitlow to come up there and talk with Bruce Maxwell. He is a professional baseball player for the New York Mets, so fun. He is a graduate of Sparkman High School, and he's now obviously playing for the Mets, and he's home visiting family and training at the compound. He is so excited that our area now has a training facility that someone who plays professional sports can actually come home to and call legit. So it was so cool to see Lou Whitlow. He was up there training some of his students in baseball and teaching them. I think they were doing like pitching practice, and just the nicest people up there. But anyway, so the reason I was up there talking to Bruce is because he is now going to be an ambassador for Acclinate Inc. So Acclinate Inc., if you remember, I wrote about them back in December. They have a movement called #NowIncluded. I'm going to be writing about all of this next week. But one of the co-founders of Acclinate Inc. is Tiffany Whitlow, who is a Madison girl. We actually graduated together from Bob Jones. She is a mover and a shaker and absolutely taken the entrepreneur world by storm. And Acclinate Inc. is all about inclusion and awareness and equality in healthcare medical studies, as far as vaccines and getting, and almost like being your best advocate when it comes to making sure that clinical trials are done on people that look like you. And that there is this, if you look into the mission of Acclinate, they talk about just this gross understudy of African Americans and general minorities, who these medicines and vaccines are not tried on. Not speaking about the COVID vaccine at all, though they may speak about it, but I'm not because I haven't done enough research. But that is what Acclinate, their mission is to make sure that it is an even playing field and that these vaccines and medicines like albuterol, for example, that those things are all tested on people that they are then given to, if that makes sense, or people that look like them. It's been fascinating to learn about. So excited to tell more of Tiffany's story. But Bruce is back to Bruce. He's completely on board being an ambassador for Acclinate. So I was really excited to go talk with him, learn why he cares about Acclinate, what he's doing here, and how Acclinate aligns with the things that he really cares about. So that was super cool. Okay, the last thing. In about an hour, I have a phone interview with the general manager of our brand new Jonathan's Grill. If you've driven on Highway 72 by Clift Farm, you may have seen the sign that Jonathan's Grill is coming. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know a little bit, but I'll wait to share about that until I get the whole scoop from their manager. But I'm really excited to talk about that. I think it's going to be a great restaurant addition to Madison and to the Cliff Farm area. So really excited. Stay tuned for All Things Madison next week when I share about what is coming and what can be expected from Jonathan's Grill. So without further ado, I think that covers it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've had a handful of you on here. As always, I'll be sharing this to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and putting it in our weekly email newsletter. Hey, if you are not subscribed to that, I would encourage you to subscribe. That sign-up sheet is at the very bottom, or sign-up form is at the bottom of every single email, or excuse me, every single article on All Things Madison. You just put your name, your email. I only send one email per week, and it's just a roundup of what you may have missed, a few notes from behind the scenes from me that you won't see anywhere else. And I'm also gonna start including some archive stuff. Just a really good way to stay in the know. I don't like spammy email, so I strive not to send you spammy email as well. If anything, it's just designed to be a helpful tool. So that's about all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this beautiful Thursday, and I will be back with the Madtown Minute next week. Have a good day.